Hi, this is Takuma Nakata. I'm an instruction designer based in Kyoto, and welcome to my vvvv beta graphics tutorial. So in our last tutorial, we learned the basics of using bullet inside vvvv, and in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to add some shaders on it and look more realistic. And in addition to that, I'm going to share some tips and tricks, useful tips and tricks inside bullet. So let's get started. Okay, so last time we went all the way here. If you haven't followed my last tutorial, please watch that one before going to this one. But what we basically did is we added some, we made some very basic bullet things. So this guy right here, this green sphere, is a static body, so it doesn't move. It doesn't move even though small red balls hit to them. And these red ones are the ones called dynamic body, which dynamically changes its position with when it collides to something. And there's also a plane on the floor, which is basically a floor. Okay, so that's what we did for last time. Today we're going to add some shadings onto it. It's basically quite simple. There's only few nodes to use for this. One is called get body pose. So this one, get body pose. So if we click this one, pops up, and then what we basically have to do is then we can connect it to bodies. No, wait. Oh yeah, to do this, we have to use a different version of dynamic bodies. So double click this one, and there's two types of dynamic body: create dynamic body bullet rigid, and create dynamic body rigid persist. I'm not sure what the difference is between these two, but once if I click the persist thing, when I create something, it has this body's count. It says 10 out, and with the other ones it was null, so it was saying like there's nothing coming out. But if I change it to this one and then click create, it says there's 10 bodies coming out. And once you connect this one to this get body pose, we immediately have a position of spheres that we just created. But as you see, we're seeing more than 10. I think this is because I created some with the other one. So I'll just press reset, right click reset, and then click do create, and now we have 10 position of these 10 spheres. So after we've changed this one, what we basically have to do is, for example, fun point, add a point, whatever is fine, this effect one, and then I'll add a transform 3D vector. So it's this one. And then I'll connect this get body pose thing to a translate. So now this guy should have the position. So once I get this, I'll add another group in to here, and then I'll connect fong point to here. However, I'm not seeing anything right now, and that is because I haven't set the geometry for this fong point. What I'll do is I'll just a normal fong sphere dx11 geometry. So this one will be connected here. And also, this is another important tips. We need to have, we don't get the scale through this get body pose, so we have to make sure that the spheres are in the same scale. So I have to connect this radius from bullet sphere to geometry sphere. And once this is done, I'll turn off this debug draw, because right now it's showing all the green and red one, and when I create it, it overlaps. And as you see, I mean, I already get the shading, so this is what we wanted to do today, but as you see, we still see this red thing behind the shaded geometry. So I'll just delete this one and then reset and then do create. So now we're getting a really nice looking balls. I think So like, okay, if I want to make, I just want to make a little bit, just want to make it look a little bit better. So I just change the color here and add white, and then do create. If I change these values, okay, so now the light is too strong. Okay, this is better. So right now the balls are shaded. Looks really good. I think I'll higher up the resolution right now. I don't like that I see the edge of the sphere, so yep, now we get a really nice looking shaded spheres right here. And as you see, since I hit this do create several times, there's already 90 position, which is in total 270 values. Which if I keep creating this, it keeps adding new position. So as you see, there's like far away, like right there, we see a lot of spheres out there. So make sure that if you you keep your count visible. Right now mine is 120, but if I go up to like 1000, for sure my computer is going to crash. So make sure you press reset, or there's also a way that you can kill spheres when, let's say when the sphere is further than something value, then there's a way that you can kill that using this I don't know, what was it called? It wasn't killing, was it break, or I'm not sure what it was. Oh yeah, destroy. No. But anyway, there is a node that you can actually not this one. There's a node that you can delete spheres that's further than something. So with that, you can sort of like control the amount of spheres that you have. Okay, so that was basically what I wanted to share today. And so this was all about shading. Oh, and there's a few different modes. So now I use this get body pose, but there's also get body transform. Get body transform. This one, get body transform. So this one does basically the same thing as get body pose. So once you have this guy out, you can connect this one to here as well. But this one comes out as a transform, so you don't need to add another transform, but you can directly connect it to here. So I'll just delete the get body pose, then add this one here, and then reset everything. And again, it has the same result. There's no big difference actually. I just tend to use the other one, so I'm using that one. But I mean, this one is totally fine as well. And there's another one. So this is the second one, and the third one is dynamic buffer get bullet, I think. Yeah, so there's also a dynamic buffer DX11 bullet rigid. For those who's followed my DX11 packs tutorial, I've already explained about this one, so I'm not gonna go deeper into what it is. But you can also get these things as a dynamic buffer, and then connect to the shader that has dynamic buffer transform in. So for example, constant buffered should have dynamic transform input, so you can actually connect this one to transform buffer. And then I'll just show what it does. Let's do some to create. But I'm not seeing something because I need to add some IID to count how many, to add some instance to tell him how many instances I have. Right now it should be 30, but I don't want to do that process for today, so I just skip that part. What I wanted to show today is basically this shading. Okay, so this was basically it for today. Right now I think I still have some bit of time to explain a little bit of tricks using bullets, so let me start sharing those. So as you've seen, whenever we add another plane or another. Oh, by the way, we can also connect other ones. I think we can, right? Okay, so it is showing for one. Okay, so even though with create static body, we have to change it to this one. And once we have this, we can also show the static body whenever it hits, but the scale is different because I have different scale for the sphere, so I have to connect this one. Here we go. Now we have the static body there as well. And of course, we can also do that one for plane. Right now, yeah, I don't want to do that part. But anyway, this was all for today. From now on, I'm going to share some tips and tricks. So as I just said, for those who might already realize, like whenever you create a new dynamic body or static body, you have to connect these two. So this one is the world data, so you have to connect the world, and you also have to hit as has reset. If you don't do that, it keeps adding another one to it. So, but as you see, it's quite annoying that you have a lot of lines, and if you want to add like 100 of dynamic body, this is gonna be quite annoying and your patch gets quite messy. So what I usually do here is I use this send node. So if you press S, it should show some S node. S means send, and for the world we'll use this S node, and then we'll connect this one here, and then we'll type this as a world. I'll say bullet world. Okay, for those who hasn't used this, this node send is a pair with a node called receive, which is which you type R, it should show up. So from here, I'm gonna use this R node node. What this guy does is, so here you can right click here and then you get this bullet world input, which I typed here. So my B is small and here the B is again small. So this is the right then what I'm doing. So what this is basically doing is it creates some sort of like wireless data sending setup inside vvvv. So once you have these here, we can actually connect this receive nodes to the world input place. So I'll just copy paste this one to those who have the world input. So now as you see, this world, I have another one here. So as you see now, this world thing is directly not connecting to anything, but it's connected to send node, and then it's receiving in each dynamic and static bodies. So even though I don't have it wirely connected, it's still, I'll just disconnect this one. It still creates the same result. This is very handy to make your patch clean. Like with this, you don't get too many wires and you don't get messed up with what was happening. So I'll do the same thing with this has reset. This one is a value, so I have to use this S value node. Then I'll put it here, and then I'll just type reset. I'll just name it reset. And now if I type R value and then right click here, I should get this R reset input. So now I can connect these guys here. Oh wait, I'll just create multiple of them. Okay, so now this guy, which is the master world, which is taking care of all the gravities and the iteration and everything, it's wirelessly, it's wirely not connected to anything, but it's sending all the data that it needs to generate bullet world wirelessly. So this guy can always actually keep remotely, and whenever you create dynamic body, you just have to make sure that you copy and paste this receive node, which has bullet world input and reset node. So let's see if that works. Yeah, it still works as it is. So by using this, you can make your patch more clean. I do this with the bodies as well. So for example, I'll just put it back here, then the sphere radius here. So this is what we reached for today's tutorial, but I don't like the fact that this and this is connected wirelessly, so I'll create another send node. I think this one should be node s node. And then once I connect this guy here, I'll just type this, I'll name this guy bodies, and then I'll create a receive node with node, and then I'll right click. Now it has two input, but I'll use the bodies, and then I'll connect this one to the body transform. Move the sphere to the top. Okay, so still keeps creating new balls, and right now, so there's no wired connection between oh, I still have this sphere scale, so I'll make a send node with value, and then I'll send this one sphere radius as a wireless connection as well. This sometimes makes you feel that a bit stupid, because this sphere radius is such a long name, and it creates this huge node. But it is very good. So now you actually have like bullet part on top. So this guy is the static body, and then you can actually name create a memo and say, okay, this guy is the static body spheres, and this guy is the floor, so I'll just type floor. So now you have everything identified. You may get lost because like you sometimes forget what you're sending where, but I'll just type dynamic. Okay. So now I have three different. So this guy is the world. I also type of world. So this guy is the world, and then below that we have dynamic floor, static body sphere. I just typed some random name. And then this guy, the one in the bottom, is the shading part. So everything gets separate, so you don't get messed up like where's my shading part and where is my simulation part. This part is the simulation part, and below that is the shading part. So right now things get more clear, so I do highly recommend using this send and receive node. Yeah, so yeah, that was what I wanted to share for today. For last, I'll share a really nice site. I'll put the link below. So all these knowledge, like the one that I just shared you guys using receive and send node, or like all these ways to use bullet, I learned from this workshop. As I said at my last tutorial, I learned at this workshop called Bullet Physics Workshop, which happened at Node 17. And here in this link, you can actually download a really nice sample pack, the Girl Power patches that was that they were using during this workshop. And this Girl Power is really good reference to start learning. Sorry that I didn't share this last time. I'll share you one really interesting. So once you download these this workshop file, which you can from here, you should get this workshop folder, and inside it has modules and Jenga tower and landscape and magnet and pinball. So these are different Girl Power. So it's an example patch using bullet physics, and it's super nice. My favorite one is this magnetic one. Once you open this one up with root, what you should see is this as a result. And this is super cool. Like, this is where I learned how to, well, welcome text is not working, so I'll just delete that one. But as you see here, so this guy, my teacher was already using send and receive node. for these. And for me, when I saw this tutorial, I thought it was really simple, like all the patches was organized. And then also the shading part was really nice. So I learned from this patch, like, okay, how does he set font points so clean? Like it doesn't look like font point. It looks really, really like a rich sort of like shader. So I learned, I copy paste this value and learn how to make this kind of look. And also my favorite one is this one. So there's this spherical force node that he created for this workshop, and what it's doing is it's collecting, it's making a tractor to get all the balls forced to the center. And what it's doing, it's calculating the normal, and then and each of them should have different powers for it. So it's adding different force for different spheres, and then making it look like it's all trying to go to the center. And also this part is really nice, like using keyboard space key to toggle reset. So you don't always have to go to your patch and right click, just press space and then it all gets reset. So again and again you can keep simulating same thing. So I'd highly recommend opening this patch up to learn bullet. Yep, so that's it. I'll put the link below for those who want to learn from this. Okay, so that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and for our next tutorial we're gonna learn a bit of advanced things. So there's some other interesting node inside bullets, so I'll start sharing those in my last tutorial, and that should be it for the whole bullet series. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.